Hi, I'm Todd Gary. I'm with Canby Fire District. Today we're going to talk about stuff that's a little confusing. We're going to talk about burning. What is agriculture burning? What's backyard burning? What's agriculture burning? I get calls on this every day. Am I agricultural and am I backyard? And what can I burn? So let's jump right into it. Let's talk a little bit about what a backyard burn is. Backyard burning has burning seasons. Backyard burning is October 1st through December 15th. And then we start again in March and we go March through June. You say, wow, why is that? It rains all during the other times of year. But what we have is we have a thing called an inversion, and we have temperatures, and we got temperatures aloft that keep the smoke down in the valley. We don't want to burn if it's going to smoke our neighbors out and it's going to leave the smoke and make a health problem in the valley. So that's the reason for the burn seasons and the time of year that we can burn. So what can you burn? Backyard burning is things that you produce on your property. It's the tree limbs, it's the clippings from your garden, it's the old stuff from your garden. It's that stuff. What you can't burn plastics, you can't burn paper, you can't burn garbage, you can't burn furniture, you can't burn mattresses, you can't burn those kind of things, tires. We can't burn that kind of stuff. It's bad for the environment. It's also a hard fire to control. And we want you to have a smaller fire and a fire we can control. How big can I have my backyard burn? Your backyard burn can be no bigger than 10 by 10, which is a big fire. That's a large fire. You must have a hose or a way to put that out. So starting it on the back of your 5-acre hobby farm is probably not a good idea. So when you start thinking about where you're going to make your burn pile, make it a little closer. No closer than about 50 feet from your home though. Keep it 50 feet from your home. Put it in an area that's not going to burn. So putting it in the middle of the hayfield is not a good idea. That type of area is going to burn. So we want to keep it in an area that's open, it's clear, it's not under the trees, it's away from your home, and you're able to have a water source for that. So what's the difference between agricultural burning and backyard burning? I live outside of town. I have 5 acres. Am I not an agricultural burner? No, you're not, unfortunately. Agricultural burning is for-profit farms. So if you have enough acreage for a profit and you're really doing that to make a living, that's your agricultural burn. So you're able to burn agriculturally pretty much all year round, unless we're into a burn ban time, because the Right to Farm Act. You're going to be able to burn on the days. We want to only have you burn on the days that are recommended to burn though. Reason for that is, again, that smoke. DEQ gives us every day a rundown on when you can burn and when you can't burn. One of the other times agricultural burning that you can't burn is if the state fire marshal says it's a red flag day and we meet their criteria. Or here at Canby Fire, we set criteria for our district too. We set it on the type of fuels that we have in our district. We got most light, flashy fuels. We don't have the big forests and we don't have those things. It's mostly light and flashy. So we've set it, if we're gonna have temperatures above 85 degrees, we have humidity at 20% or less, and we have a wind speed of greater than 8 miles an hour. We'll say there's no burning that day. Even if DEQ says there is burning, we regulate burning. If we hit any 2 of those in any day, we'll regulate the burning for that day. So we've done backyard burning, we've done agricultural burning. Let's talk a little bit about what is a recreational fire. I hear that all the time too. Can I have a fire in my backyard and we can sit around and make s'mores and roast marshmallows? Absolutely you can. That's not a fire that you're going to say, I'm going to burn garbage in, I'm going to burn paper in. That's a wood fire. You're using regular wood to build your fire. Need to be away from your home with that. We want it out from your home. Make sure you have the means to put that fire out. That fire can be burned, recreational fires. all the way through the high times that we're at high fire danger, we can burn in those backyard enclosures, but it needs to be either in a fire pan or a very regulated spot. Let's talk about what size that can be. So the size is about 4 by 4 and 3 feet tall. What is 4 by 4 and 3 foot tall? So right here, I've laid out a 4 by 4 area. That's the absolute largest that you can have your recreational fire. And about this tall, that's about 3 feet. So if it's any bigger than that, that's not a recreational fire anymore. That's a large fire. But talking about that, we can issue a special permit if you've got a large event, you've got family coming over, you're doing some large event, and you say, you know, my fire is going to be bigger than 4 by 4. I've got a lot of people sitting around it, and we're really going to have a good time. Give me a call, and we can come out. Any fire district can come out. They can look at your area. They can look at what you have, and they may grant you a special permit to make that fire a little bit bigger than that, as long as you got your safety measures in place, and we feel comfortable with that fire. We also turn that into our dispatch center, so that a little larger fire, it's going to be late at night, so people aren't calling that in thinking that we have a field fire or we have somebody's home on fire. So really, no bigger than this 4 by 4 and about 3 feet tall. So some of the other things that we do is, in your backyard, a propane fire. So propane fire, they make some really nice fire pits now, and they run off of propane. You can use those any time of year. You can use those without a permit. They can be fairly close to your home on your back porch. What a great way to enjoy the fire and the ambiance on your back porch without the danger. The propane fire is very controlled. You can shut it off. It's easy to shut off. You don't have to have a hose to shut it off. It just shuts off. And also, you don't get the sparks. So we're not getting the same sparks into the atmosphere and the fear of a brand flying someplace to start a fire somewhere else. So there's lots of those little pieces that we look at when we look at those things. So special permits on agricultural burning. Talk a little bit about that. Or backyard burning for that matter. That you've cleared your pasture and you've got a bunch of big stumps. And you're going, wow, I'd really like to burn these. My pile is going to be pretty good sized. And you know, it's going to burn more than today, and I really don't want to put it out at the end of the day. That's a special permit fire. What you do is you call Canby Fire or your local fire department, and you say, hey, I got this fire. Can you come take a look? A lot of times I'll come out and take a look. I'll say, okay, you're going to burn these stumps. They're going to burn for 2 or 3 days. So what I want you to do is start it in the morning on a burn day, let it burn. Don't put any more stuff on it at night. Let it just die down, kind of smolder down. The next day, go back out there, get it going again. The next day, whatever it takes to burn that up. We also turn that into our dispatch center, so we know that you are doing a larger burn at your property, either agricultural or backyard, and it makes a difference for us. And we really don't want to come see you in the evenings for your legal fire. So let's talk a little bit about fire regulations and what our fire danger signs mean. So here I have the fire danger sign, and it's always been kind of a mystery. You drive by the fire danger sign and it says low, moderate, high, or extreme. But what the heck does that mean? So what it means is when it's low, you know, your backyard burnings are allowed with caution, your agriculture burnings allowed, and we allow recreational fires allowed with the precautions, because we are into fire danger time now. We are at low. So let's move it up, and let's move it up to moderate. So our moderate times between July and October, kind of based on conditions of what's going on fire-wise in Oregon and around Clackamas County. Recreational fires are allowed at the moderate. The special permits are allowed during the moderate time, and agriculture is permitted during the agriculture okay days. So you just need to make sure you check your fire regulations on those days. Let's bump it up a little bit. Let's bump it up to high. So still, recreational fires are allowed, but with extreme caution. They may be revoked at any time, just based on the conditions. What kind of conditions are we seeing? Other open burning really requires a permit from us. Agriculture is approved, but may be revoked again. I talked about those levels earlier, and may be revoked on those days, especially when we're in the high. So really check with your local fire department, check on their conditions, call your local burn line. All the fire departments in Clackamas County have a burn line to call. So please call their burn line, check their websites for those burn days, the days you want to burn. So now we go into extreme. Last summer, we seen a lot of extreme time. We went through most of the summer and we were in extreme, and we had a lot of fires going on. Extreme, we're in a total burn ban. No outdoor fires are allowed, no recreational fires. Now, the propane fires and your propane barbecues and those things are allowed during that time. So during that time, you can have those. One of the other things you may see, we are in a total burn ban, but some of the grass seed and those things are regulated by the Department of Agriculture, and they're very regulated and they got fire engines, they've got water supplies, they've got all those things in place. So you may see some burning, some field burning, especially in the Canby Fire District, because we are large and we have an experimental place in Canby that does a lot of experiments with the grass seed and what the effects of burning and stuff does and what it does when it's in a drought time. So you may see a little of that burning, and that is purely agriculture, and that's purely grass seed. It's nothing else. So we went through all that stuff really fast. We went through the regulations, we went through what stuff is. Go to your local fire department's website. Canby Fire's website has all the information that I've just talked about. It's all on there. Please read through it, understand the burning regulations, understand the type of burning you're doing before you go and burn. We're gonna do a little demonstrations here. We're gonna talk a little bit about how fast fire moves and how fast it can get away. We've just went through a few days of rain, but now it's gonna get hot again, and we're working in this hot time. And I want to show you about the light flashy fuels that we have in our fire districts and other fire districts around Clackamas County, and how fast stuff can get away and what we can do with that. So we've learned all about what agriculture fires are, what recreational fire is, and what a backyard burn is. Let's talk about good locations and bad locations. I'm standing out here. It's a pretty hot day today, little bit of breeze. We have a good spot possibly for a recreational or your fire. All this area here is all dirt. There's nothing but dirt here. The area behind me, we have tall grasses. We got stuff that fire is gonna go through. Let's see how fast fire is gonna move with the small amount of breeze and wind that we have today. So not a lot of flame that I put on there. And wow, look at how fast that fire is gonna travel through that grass, and it gets away in just that amount of time. That's not a fire that we're gonna fight with our garden hose. We're gonna have to have a bigger hose and a larger hose to fight a small fire like that moves. And like I say, we had rain 3 days ago. So we think of it as being, man, we had rain, why would the fire get this much? It's all about flames, it's all about humidity, and it's about the fuels that we're burning and our light flashy fuels. Okay, let's go ahead and put this fire out. Look at the fire move. He's able to put it out going around the edges of the fire. So again, if you hit that fire with your hose, it's still not out. Even after we see the flames, the fire's not out. He'll be working on this fire for a little while to get it all out. So in closing, please be careful. Please look at your fire regulations. Please watch the fire danger sign. Watch to what it says. Work within the regulations. Don't let this happen to you at your home. We want you to be safe. We want you to have fun with your recreational fire. So please follow the regulations. Have a great day and be fire safe.